Yo guys, it's slyroh. You already know that today I'm bringing you guys my team analysis for week 2 of season 3 of TBU, and this week we are taking on Esquilo, or easier said Esquilo, and the Juventeis. And this is, I'm going to try and make this a little bit shorter because honestly at this point I'm so done agonizing over this team. Like, basically I don't think I have had this difficult of a time building a team in my history of Pokemon Leagues. There's never been a time where I have stressed out this much over a team. So honestly, I just want to record this team analysis, get it over with, get this team over with, and get the battle over with, because I'm probably going to lose, and that is my mental state right now, man. Like, this week is literally deteriorating my mental health. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it's ridiculous. So, I'm here to talk about why. So let's go ahead and jump into Quill's team. He has a Mega Charizard Y, Excadrill, Togekiss, Galvantula, Feraligatr, Chestnut, Tyranitar, Druddigon, and Medicham. Now, he actually took Tyranitar off the bench, and he benched Miltank instead, which is great because Miltank is super fat, and I didn't really want to deal with it. So, but now I get to deal with Excadrill in the sand. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. But basically, yeah, let's talk about why I am agonizing over this team so much, and that is because I have to face Medicham again. Last week we went over how Mega Medicham destroys my core. Well, regular Medicham does the same thing, and if you remember last week, there was a time in the battle where Jack went for Tailwind, and I started having a mini heart attack over him going into Mega Medicham and having a Mega Medicham in Tailwind. This is basically that, except for I actually had time to process what that does to me. Because he has Sticky Webs with Galvantula. I have one form of hazard removal. I have Hitmonchan on the bench, but I didn't bring it off this week. Flygon is my only way of removing hazards, and it does not have the best matchup, so there's that. So basically, if Sticky Webs get up and Medicham comes in, it's very, very hard to win, especially if he's like banded and things like that. So let's go ahead and talk about my team. I actually brought Ambipom off the bench and benched Alakazam. I wasn't actually planning on bringing Ambipom when I did the bench switch. I was just bringing it off because it's the viewer pick, which means that it's a free bench switch, like off the first time. Because it's the viewer pick, you know, everybody's got to use it and everything like that. Which I was going to use Ambipom regardless. At some point, I wasn't going to use it this week, and I only made the bench switch because, you know, why not? You get a free switch. I wasn't going to bring Alakazam. And I was just going to kind of play some mind games, like, oh, look, I brought this off the bench, and then, oh, I didn't even bring it. But that's not going to happen, because I'm actually bringing it. So, also, if I go into the 6 Mons that I think Quill is going to bring, I think he's going to bring the Mega Charizard Y. If he doesn't bring that, I could expect the Togekiss instead. One or the other is going to come. I don't know, I guess Charizard Y, it could really be either. I don't think both of them will come. Excadrill is definitely coming. If he sees that Medicham destroys my team the way I see it, Galvantula and Medicham will both be coming. If he just doesn't see that, then neither of them will come. Unless he brings a Scarf Medicham. If I see Medicham and no Galvantula, then it's probably a Scarf Medicham. I also think Chestnut's going to come, just because I feel like it's a decent annoyance to my team, and it's just not a Pokemon that I tend to enjoy dealing with. And Tyranitar is definitely coming because Excadrill does a lot to my team. So that is what I'm expecting. I can see Druddigon making its way in there in some way, shape, or form. The one Pokemon I'm not expecting to be brought is Feraligatr. That doesn't mean I'm not prepping for it, but if I had to wage any bets, I would say that Feraligatr's not coming. I can't wait to be wrong about that one, but we'll see. So, Pokemon that I'm not bringing, Let's see, I'm bringing my entire core of 4. Look at that. I'm not bringing Electivire. It didn't do enough work this week. So sad. So sad. I'm not bringing Flagon because, like I said, it doesn't really have a great matchup. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, and it can be worn down really, really quickly by Quill's team. And I am also not bringing whatever else is listed there. I'm forgetting something. Slurpuff. Slurpuff was definitely in the plan for 99% of this team building, because if I get a belly drum off, I actually OHKO basically his whole team. The issue here is he has a lot of things that can OHKO Slurpuff, which means I don't really get a chance to set up. Also, if you get Sticky Webs up, I don't outspeed anything, and even with the Unburden boost, Excadrill in the sand still outspeeds Slurpuff, an Unburden boosted Slurpuff. So it just wasn't quite the week. I also really thought of bringing Omastar off the bench and, you know, using a Shell Smash Omastar, but I ended up not really having room for that because there was just too many other things to prep for, man. Like, I don't even know. Alright, so let's go ahead and, I think since I covered all my bases, let's go ahead and talk about the team that I'm bringing and why I'm bringing it. So, obviously, first off, you can see it's been on your screen for a little while. We have both handed the Ambipom with Life Orb Technician, Fake Out Return, Low Kick Toxic, 204 Speed Jolly, Max Attack with the remaining 52 in HP, because HP on an Ambipom is super important. But this is the speed I need to outspeed Galvantula. Because I don't have Hazard Removal, I need to try and stop him from getting up webs in other ways. And Fake Out doing about 50% is one way, and then outspeeding in return doing, like, the rest of the damage is another way. Low Kick hits the Excadrill and the Tyranitar, and as long as the Tyranitar is not scarfed and the Excadrill is not in sand or also scarfed, Low Kick can do a lot to both of them. Ha. Should have said that the first time. Oh well. And Toxic is for the Druddigon, so that way Ambipom doesn't get worn down by Life Orb, Rough Skin, Rocky Helmet, like, all at once. This is also a way to kind of stop Medicham from sweeping my team. Obviously, to bring this in, I would have to sack something else off, come in and go for Fake Out. And he can play around that and, you know, wear down a lot of my team. But it's kind of like a panic button. I'm trying to bring my most powerful priority this match to kind of stop things from sweeping me. So we're gonna see how successful we are at that. And that is Ambipom. It is fast, and it hits really hard, actually. Even things that I wouldn't expect it to hit that hard, like, it hits really hard, dude. Like, Return does, like, 40% to Druddigon. No. Yeah, was it more than that? It might have even been more than that. So, that's fun. Either way, let's go ahead and move on to the next Pokemon. So, both these are first-time brings for the season. We have Windows 10, the Porygon 2, with Eviolite Analytic. This is especially defensive with Tri-Attack, Recover, Thunderbolt, and Protect. I've thought about this moveset for a while. I had Hidden Power Fighting on it for a little bit for the Excadrill Tyranitar. I had Ice Beam on it for the Chestnut and the Druddigon. I thought about Toxic, but Tri-Attack is going to kind of be the attack to hit everything that's not Mega Charizard Y or Togekiss. Because Thunderbolt is for them, I switch it on both of them. That's why I'm especially defensive, to deal with the Charizard Y and or the Togekiss. And Thunderbolt, Analytic Thunderbolt is a 2 KO on both of them. So that is why I have that. And Tri-Attack is just for everything else. Maybe I can get some hacks in my favor. Like, I honestly, I don't really know. There's just no one other coverage move that can really deal with the rest of his team. So there's that. Recover, obviously, to stay around longer, and Protect, if I can get any sort of matchup where the Mega Medicham is in against me, and assuming Mega Medicham has, wow, regular Medicham, it's not a Mega this week, regular Medicham, assuming Medicham has High Jump Kick, which, if it wants to run through my team like it can, then it needs High Jump Kick. I have Protect, because no other move is like ideal for a Medicham to go for. Like, if I were to be, like, physically defensive or anything like that, like, nothing besides a High Jump Kick is, like, you're gonna want to go for. I mean, Drain Punch is still probably a 2 KO, but, like, if you want to run through my team, you need High Jump Kick, basically. So, with Medicham, that is. And yeah, I just want to be able to protect, and this time actually force a high jump kick to miss instead of getting lucky and having it just miss, because that happened. But yeah, so that's Porygon 2, especially defensive. Basically, my team this week is 2 defensive Pokemon, and then everything else very offensive. So the other defensive mon is Mega Venusaur, Sorali, the Mega Venusaur. I actually am going, I want Chlorophyll before Mega Evolve, just in case the sun is out because of its Mega Charizard Y. I can outspeed for a turn, and that would be fun. Yeah. So I'm going to have Earthquake, Hidden Power Flying, Synthesis, and Giga Drain, physically defensive. Earthquake hits the Excadrill and the Tyranitar. Hidden Power Flying hits the Chestnut. Chestnut takes one, Venusaur stabs like really, really well. It doesn't care about the grass stab, and it is immune to Sludge Bomb, and Venusaur does not learn Sludge Wave. So Hidden Power Flying is for the Chestnut. I can 1v1 that thing. Giga Drain hits the Feraligatr. I mean, also does some, like Tyranitar, things like that, but not a whole lot. But Venusaur is physically defensive. This is basically my only thing to switch into Excadrill. Yeah. Because outside of that, I just don't really have anything. If this takes too much damage, then an Excadrill in the sand can definitely sweep me up, and it will be no fun at all. So, yes, this is a super fantastic Feraligatr answer also. Feraligatr does like 25%. Like, that's Adamant Life Orb. Like, Ice Punch, maybe 30%. I don't even know. It's crazy low. I know that. And Tyranitar also does some pretty pitiful damage, and Druddigon, this deals with Druddigon also, and anything that's not a psychic move from Medicham. So if he is like choice locked into high jump kick, Venusaur can come in on most of them, except for maybe a banded high jump kick. If it's not that, Venusaur can come in and, Hidden Power Flying, I guess. Oh, I don't know. But, because of Mega Venusaur, that would be the only reason that I could see Togekiss coming, but, we will have to see. That is Venusaur. So this is my little defensive core, everything else is offensive. Athos Cobalion, hopefully it does a little bit more work this week than it did last week. Bring it with a Shuckle Berry, a max attack, max speed, Jolly, Iron Head, Close Combat, Stone Edge, Stealth Rock. The speed ties with Galvantula, which if I, am in against Galvantula and I can outspeed it and kill it before it gets up webs, that is, ideal. Stone Edge also hits the Mega Charizard Y and the Togekiss. Ooh, I forgot about this. I actually don't think I want to run Iron Head because of not really hitting anything. Like, Iron Head hits Togekiss, but so does Stone Edge. I actually forgot to change this because of the Chestnut and Druddigon. I felt like I didn't have enough coverage for it. I actually wanted to change Iron Head to Hidden Power Ice. Now, I am going to do calcs, and I am going to modify the set just a little bit, and I will kind of update you guys on exactly if the set ends up changing. I might have to take out some attack to add some special attack, depending on how much Hidden Power Ice does to Chestnut and Druddigon, or I might end up keeping Iron Head, or I might think of something else altogether. Maybe put Volt Switch. So that is the one thing I forgot to completely finish before starting the recording for this team builder. The battle video, I will go over the Cobalion set if I did decide to change it at all. Right now it's Hidden Power Ice. It may turn into Volt Switch. We'll see. Close Combat hits Excadrill and Tyranitar for lots of damage, and yeah, that's basically it. I have coverage for everything basically everything. I mean, Close Combat, that's a pretty powerful move. Shuckle Berry, obviously, for the Excadrill. If Excadrill's in and he thinks he can, take me out, I have the Shuckle Berry, and I can Close Combat, and Excadrill is out of my life, which is great. So, however, this does not work if Excadrill gets up a Swords Dance. If Excadrill gets up a Swords Dance, I basically lose, so that's fun. That's Cobalion, the unfinished Cobalion. I will definitely have to make sure that I figure out this whole deal. Alright, Then I'm bringing Hipster Entei the Arcanine. This is going to be banded this week, and I really don't know how I feel about this. But, Intimidate, Wild Charge, Flare Blitz, Extreme Speed, Close Combat, Max Attack, 204 Speed, Jolly. That outspeeds Excadrill, because that's the fastest thing that I can outspeed, with optimal HP and defense investment. This was going to be defensive for the Mega Charizard Y, and the Medicham. I was going to try and do a sort of mixed defensive set to take on both, but I had a test match, and a defensive Arcanine just doesn't deal with a banded Medicham. So if that gets brought, I literally have nothing for it. So I decided to bring offensive instead. Banded Extreme Speed is just another way to try and stop things from sweeping me. Between Ambipom's Fake Out and Arcanine's Extreme Speed, I should hopefully be able to stop sweeps from happening. Especially from Medicham, and perhaps from Excadrill. Those are the two mons that I'm like really worried about just sweeping my team. And of course, as I say that, I'm probably just going to get swept by Tyranitar or something, but that's not the point. Yeah, so that's the main reason why I'm bringing Banded, just because Extreme Speed. But Flare Blitz also does a lot, and he has a Mega Charizard Y, so there's a potential of Flare Blitz in the sun. So, hopefully that happens, and Quill can have fun with that. Wild Charge, mostly for Alligator. I mean, it also hits Togekiss, but so does Flare Blitz for, like, a lot. And Close Combat is for Tyranitar, basically, because I don't really need another move. I guess it also hits Excadrill, so Flare Blitz, it doesn't really matter. Close Combat basically only hits Tyranitar. It would have also hit Miltank, but, you know, Miltank's not there. I just don't need a fourth move. So hopefully, yeah, I just have to hope that my things don't get worn down so much. You know, like, this has recoil moves, this has a Life Orb. I just don't feel very confident, but I do have offense that can really deal with his mons, but I just need to not lose to his offense first. So we're just gonna have to see how this works. And then finally, I'm bringing Manaphy the Manaphy. I ended up settling with Wise Glasses, Hydration, Tail Glow, Scald, Ice Beam, Energy Ball, Max Speed, Timid, because that speed ties with the Max Speed Charizard Y, and after Tail Glow, Scald does like 80 something to 90 something percent to a Charizard Y. That's after a Tail Glow, if I didn't say that already. And so any prior damage, I would like to be able to outspeed it, kill it with Scald. Scald his Excadrill. Basically, this is move coverage to everything. Ice Beam for Togekiss. Galvantula, I think, dies to a Scald. This is after a Tail Glow. Energy Ball for Alligator. Ice Beam for Chestnut and Dredagon. Scald for Tyranitar and Medicham. So, if I can get up a Tail Glow, I can do a lot of damage. This can be all. This would have to be offensively checked, and Manaphy has some pretty decent bulk that if I set up a Tail Glow at like full health, then maybe I can like take a hit or something, so that way I don't, you know, die right away, and that the sweep doesn't stop or whatever. I don't think Manaphy's going to sweep, but hopefully it can just dent a couple holes into this wall. That would be the most ideal. So I'm just kind of looking for Manaphy to, you know, put in the hurt. So yeah, between Manaphy, Arcanine, Cavalion, and Ambipom, that's my offense with Porygon 2 and Mega Venusaur as my defensive thing, which kind of sucks because neither of them have like leftovers. Like, they're both reliant on using their own self-recovery moves. So I'm really terrified that I'm going to get worn down too quickly. I'm worried that he's just going to outstall. I'm worried that he's going to get up webs, and I'm worried that he's going to sweep me. So that's what I'm expecting to happen. I'm not expecting to win this match at all, but we won last week, so we can afford a loss if it happens. And that's basically this. I can't wait to stop building for this team and start building for one that I have a better shot against. But that is going to be the team builder for week 2 against Quill. And let me know your thoughts on the team. Make sure you stay tuned to the battle, which will be uploaded tomorrow. Make sure you check out Quill's channel, you know, links in the description. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comments section, because I might have forgotten something. and all that good stuff. So that basically covers everything. Thank you guys for watching, and until the next time, stay sly.